The research station floated silently above the blue planet, its sleek metal body glinting in the light of the nearby star. Inside, the alien crew moved with precise grace, their every motion controlled and deliberate. Lyra watched them from the observation deck, her glowing purple skin reflecting faintly in the polished metal walls. She had always loved observing humans, but she had a mischievous streak that often led to trouble. Humans, with their awkward gestures and unpredictable behavior, fascinated her. Their curiosity, sometimes reckless, sometimes brave, was a source of endless amusement. Today, she had set her sights on a particular human named Alex. He was tall, with messy brown hair and an ever-present look of curiosity on his face. He was fiddling with a device on a console, moving his fingers across it with careful concentration. The device was meant for research, a tool that the aliens had designed to study energy patterns in humans. It was sensitive and fragile, but Alex handled it with surprising care. Lyra stepped quietly behind him, suppressing a grin. "Watch this," she whispered to herself. With a quick movement, she grabbed his hand, squeezing it lightly as a joke. Alex jumped, yelping in surprise. "Hey, what?" Lyra laughed, her sharp teeth flashing in the dim light. "Relax. I just wanted to see your reaction," she said, her voice playful. She expected him to pull away and shake his hand off, maybe scowl at her, and that would be the end of it. But this time, something strange happened. The device Alex had been holding began to hum. A low, golden light spread across its surface, then shot up in a pulse that enveloped both of them. Lyra yelped, pulling back instinctively, but Alex froze. His eyes widened, reflecting a spark of something that made the hair on the back of Lyra's neck stand on end. "What is happening?" Alex whispered, his voice trembling. The pulse of energy washed over him, and he felt a strange warmth spreading from his hand through his entire body. It was not painful, but it was unlike anything he had ever experienced. The lab's instruments went wild, lights blinking and alarms softly ringing. Screens showed data streams that made no sense. Lyra's laughter died in her throat. She had never seen the device react like this, and she had handled it before without incident. Something had changed, and it was because of the touch, because of her joke. "Step back," Lyra shouted to the other crew members, who were gathering quickly. She tried to pry her hand from his, but it felt as if they were connected by an invisible thread, a golden cord that pulsed with energy. Alex looked at her, his eyes wide but calm in a way that frightened her. I don't know what's happening," he said. Lyra's mind raced. She had read about human adaptability, their strange ability to survive and improvise in ways aliens couldn't, but this was different. This was something new, something powerful. She could feel it too, a strange energy flowing between them. Her skin tingled, her muscles slightly stiffening, but it wasn't painful. It was alive. The pulse of energy lasted only a few seconds, but when it faded, the room felt different. The lights on the consoles dimmed and then returned to normal, but Alex did not let go of the device. He stared at his hands as if he could see through them, his expression one of awe and confusion. I feel something," he murmured. Lyra stepped closer, curious despite her fear. "Something inside me. It's like I can sense the energy. I can see the patterns." Lyra's eyes widened. Humans were known for resilience and ingenuity, but she had never seen anything like this. She crouched to look at the console readings. This shouldn't be possible," she said, her voice low. "The device isn't designed to do this. It's reacting to you." The other crew members were cautiously approaching, their usual calm replaced by curiosity and worry. "Is he dangerous?" one of them asked. Lyra shook her head. "I don't think so. Not dangerous. Yet. But powerful. Yes. More powerful than anything we expected a human to be." She glanced at Alex, who was now touching another panel, and the screen responded instantly to his movements. It was as if he could communicate with the technology without speaking, without following the normal commands. Alex looked up at her. "I don't know how I'm doing this. It just works." I can feel what it wants to do before it does it. Lyra bit her lip. Her joke had triggered something no one could have predicted. Humans were already known for their unpredictability, but this was beyond anything in the station's data archives. She had only wanted to scare him, to have a laugh. And instead, she had awakened something ancient. The energy readings on the main screen spiked again, and the station's AI, which had been silent until now, finally spoke. Its voice was calm but carried a note of concern. Energy spike detected. Unknown origin. Human subject exhibiting properties outside standard parameters. Recommend containment and observation. Lyra frowned. Containment? She muttered. Do you understand what just happened? This isn't containment. This is evolution. Or awakening. Something in him is connecting to the energy in ways we never imagined. Alex's hands trembled slightly, though he seemed in control. I think I can stop it, he said, focusing on the device. The golden glow dimmed slowly, and the instruments returned to normal. He let out a shaky breath. I think it's over. Lyra studied him closely. No, she said softly, almost to herself. It's just beginning. That evening, the station was quiet again, but the tension remained. Lyra and Alex were summoned to the observation deck. The view of the blue planet below was beautiful, peaceful, but the calmness was deceptive. Lyra knew that the energy Alex had tapped into was not local. It was cosmic, ancient, something that had existed long before humans or aliens had walked the stars. The alien crew gathered around them, curiosity and apprehension in their expressions. We must study this, the captain said. This human. He could be a key to understanding forces we cannot yet control. Alex nodded, feeling a mix of fear and excitement. He had never wanted to be special, never wanted to stand out, but now he could not ignore what had happened. There was power inside him. Yes, but there was responsibility too. If he could feel energy, sense patterns, perhaps even influence events before they happened. What did that make him? Lyra's gaze softened as she looked at him. The joke she had played had changed everything. Not just for Alex, but for all of them. Humans, she realized, were underestimated. They were clever, resilient, and now, they were connected to something the aliens had never expected. That night, Lyra could not sleep. She wandered the empty corridors, thinking about the touch that had triggered the golden pulse. She remembered Alex's eyes, calm but glowing with a strange inner light, and she felt a twinge of guilt mixed with admiration. Her joke had been reckless, but it had revealed a truth. Humans were capable of more than the universe had ever credited them for. In his quarters, Alex sat quietly, tracing patterns in the air with his fingers. He felt the energy lingering, subtle now but unmistakable. He could not explain it, could not predict what it would lead to, but he knew one thing. Life aboard this station would never be the same again. Outside the station, the stars stretched endlessly, indifferent and infinite. But inside, a small golden pulse of energy had awakened, connecting human and alien in a way neither could have imagined. A simple joke had turned into a spark that might change everything. And somewhere deep within him, Alex felt the stirring of something greater, something powerful, something unpredictable. The station settled into silence, but the universe had already taken notice. The morning on the research station began quietly, with soft hums from the machinery and faint glimmers of starlight filtering through the observation windows. Alex sat at the edge of the lab table, staring at his hands as if they held the answers to questions he didn't yet understand. The golden pulse from yesterday's incident still lingered in his mind, a strange warmth that seemed to radiate from within him. He flexed his fingers and felt it something shifting, something alive in the energy that now flowed through him. Lyra approached carefully, her usual playfulness tempered by a mix of curiosity and caution. "You slept at all?" she asked softly. Her glowing purple skin reflected the dim light. her eyes studying him as though trying to see the energy itself. "I think so," Alex replied, his voice hesitant. "But I keep feeling it. The energy. It's still there. It's like I can sense things. Patterns. Movements. Even thoughts in a way I've never felt before." Lyra crouched beside him, trying to understand. "Patterns? Explain." Alex hesitated. "When I touch the controls or the devices, I can feel how they want to operate. I can see the paths of energy, how it moves through the systems. It's like I know what will happen before it actually does." Lyra's eyes widened. "That's impossible. Humans aren't supposed to interact with energy like that. You're—" She stopped herself, realizing words could not capture what had happened. "You're different. Something inside you reacted to the device, to me. And now it's changing everything." Alex nodded, feeling both exhilarated and frightened. "I don't know how to control it," he admitted. "It's like it's part of me, but not really me. I just feel it." Rhyme. Before Lyra could respond, the station's alarm system chimed softly. The display screens lit up, showing unusual readings on the station's perimeter. Lyra's ears twitched nervously. The other crew members gathered, their faces pale. "External energy spike detected," the station's AI announced. Its calm voice contrasted sharply with the anxious energy in the room. "Origin unknown. Possible threat. Recommend defensive measures." Alex's eyes narrowed. "Could it be related to me?" Lyra glanced at him, her expression serious. "It has to be. The energy you released yesterday was significant. The spike outside could be drawn to it." The captain of the station, a tall and solemn alien with crystalline features, stepped forward. "Then we must be prepared," he said. "If this spike is connected to the human, we need to observe how he interacts with it. And we must defend the station at all costs." Alex swallowed hard. He had never imagined he would be a weapon or a key to the station's safety. The thought unsettled him. But at the same time, there was a part of him that felt alive. Stronger. Capable. He looked at Lyra. "I can try to sense it, maybe even control it." Lyra studied him, then nodded slowly. "If anyone can do it, you can. Humans are unpredictable. That's their strength. But we'll have to be careful. Too much energy, too fast, could overwhelm you." For the next few hours, Alex trained under Lyra's watchful eye. He reached out with his mind, focusing on the small currents of energy that lingered in the lab. At first, nothing happened, and frustration crept into his chest. Then, slowly, the faintest glow appeared around his fingers, dancing like golden sparks. He moved his hand across a console, and the lights flickered in response. His heart raced. "It's working," he whispered. Lyra smiled, a rare moment of warmth crossing her usually mischievous face. "Yes, but keep it steady. You're touching things, but don't overreach. This energy isn't yours alone. It reacts to emotion, to thought, to instinct." Alex nodded, taking a deep breath. He reached out again, this time focusing on the station's power grid. He could see the flow of energy, a web of golden lines spreading like veins throughout the metal corridors. Slowly, cautiously, he guided it, adjusting the flow to stabilize a small fluctuation. The lights in the room brightened slightly, and a gentle hum filled the air. "You're controlling it," Lyra said softly, awe in her voice. "Not many beings in the universe can do this. And you're doing it naturally." The moment of triumph was interrupted by a loud rumble. The station shook slightly, and the screens flashed red. Alex froze. The external spike had grown stronger, moving closer. Lyra and the crew rushed to the main observation deck. Outside, through the thick reinforced glass, they saw shapes moving in the darkness of space. Alien ships, sleek and angular, with glowing weapons aimed directly at the station. Their sensors confirmed the worst. These ships had detected the energy surge. "They're coming for us," Lyra whispered. Alex's chest tightened. He could feel the energy outside as clearly as he felt it inside. It pulsed, drawn toward him, reactive to his emotions. Fear made it sharp and erratic. Determination made it flow smoothly. He closed his eyes and reached out with his mind, sensing the paths of the alien ships, the currents of their engines, the rhythm of their movements. Lyra watched him in disbelief. "You're reading them, predicting them." Alex nodded slowly. "I think I can guide our defenses. But I need to focus. I can't let the energy overwhelm me, or it could. I don't know. Something bad might happen." The crew scrambled to prepare for the attack, but conventional weapons were no match for the advanced alien fleet. Alex stepped forward, placing his hands on the control panel. The golden glow surrounded him, faint but growing stronger as he concentrated. He reached out, guiding the station's shields, its targeting systems, its engines. Almost as if he were one with the station itself. Missiles were fired, but Alex sensed their paths before they reached the station, redirecting shields with precision. The alien ships adjusted, but every movement they made was anticipated, countered by his instinctual control. The other crew members watched, astonished and fearful. They had never seen a human capable of this. The attack lasted only a few minutes, though it felt like hours to those inside. When the alien ships finally retreated, they left behind a silence that was almost deafening. The station trembled slightly, but it was intact. Alex sank into a chair, exhausted, sweat glistening on his forehead. The golden energy surrounding him faded, leaving only a faint warmth in his chest. Lyra knelt beside him. "You saved us. You controlled the energy. You did something no one else could." Alex shook his head, still in disbelief. I just felt it. I didn't know what I was doing half the time." "That's humans," Lyra said quietly. "Unpredictable. Adaptable. Brave in ways no machine or weapon can match. Today, you proved it." The captain approached, his crystalline features unreadable but his voice steady. "This human represents more than we understood. His connection to energy, his instinct. It is unique. It is not only a tool, but a sign. Humans may hold keys to forces beyond our comprehension." Alex felt a mixture of pride and fear. He had saved the station, yes, but he had also realized that his abilities were just beginning. The energy he had awakened was vast, ancient, and unpredictable. If yesterday had been a spark, today had been the first flame. In the following hours, Alex practiced again, learning to sense and manipulate the energy with more control. Lyra guided him, teaching him how to calm the flow, how to direct it without forcing it. Slowly, he began to understand that the energy responded not just to thought, but to intention, emotion, and focus. "Humans have always underestimated themselves," Lyra said one evening as they watched the stars from the observation deck. "You think of yourselves as fragile, limited, but inside you, there is potential that even the universe can't predict." Alex looked at her, a newfound resolve in his eyes. "I don't know how far this can go, but I want to learn. I want to understand it, control it, and use it to protect others." Lyra smiled faintly, a mixture of pride and caution. "Be careful. Power like this can attract attention. Others will notice. Some may fear it. Some may want it for themselves." Alex nodded. The memory of the alien fleet lingered in his mind. They had come for him, drawn to the energy he had accidentally unleashed. And if they had discovered it so quickly, who else might come next? As night fell on the station, Alex stood alone for a moment, feeling the golden energy within him pulsing softly. It was no longer frightening, it was part of him, and he knew, deep down, that this was just the beginning. Humans had always survived, adapted, and thrived in the face of impossible odds. Now, Alex understood that their potential reached far beyond what anyone had imagined, and for the first time, he felt the weight and the promise of what it meant to be human in a universe that had always doubted them. The stars outside shimmered, indifferent yet inviting, and somewhere deep within, the spark of something powerful, something ancient, something unpredictably human, continued to grow. The day began quietly, but the calm was deceptive. The crew of the research station moved with heightened alertness, their usual routine replaced by nervous preparation. Alex stood in the center of the command room, his hands still glowing faintly with the golden energy that had saved the station before. Lyra was at his side, her expression serious but encouraging. The events of the previous day had changed everything. They could return at any moment, Lyra said softly. The fleet we saw yesterday isn't small. They've detected your energy, and they will come for it. Alex nodded, his mind racing. He could feel the energy pulsing through the station, responding to his presence like a living organism. I'm ready, he said. I think I can guide the defenses again. But this time, I need to be sharper, faster. I can't make mistakes. The captain stepped forward, his crystalline features reflecting the dim light of the control panels. We will rely on your abilities, human. The fleet is vast, and our conventional weapons alone will not be enough. You must guide us. Alex took a deep breath. He could sense the flow of energy through the station and outside in space. The golden lines danced in his mind like a complex map, showing the paths of the enemy ships and the currents of their weapons. He reached out with focus, feeling the energy respond. And for a brief moment, the chaos outside became something he could navigate. The first attack came without warning. Alien ships appeared from the darkness, sleek and deadly, their weapons bristling. The station shuddered as a blast struck the outer hull. Alarms screamed, lights flickered, and crew members scrambled to man their stations. Alex closed his eyes, letting the golden energy flow through him. He could feel the paths of the missiles, see the trajectories before they happened. Slowly, he guided the station's shields, diverting energy to strengthen weak points and redirect incoming fire. Each movement felt instinctive, as if the energy was a part of him rather than something separate. Steady, Lyra said, her voice calm but urgent. Focus, Alex. Don't let it overwhelm you. He nodded, though his heart raced. He could feel the strain building, the energy pushing against him, testing his limits. He reached deeper, sensing the intentions of the enemy ships. He predicted their maneuvers, adjusted the station's defenses, and even guided the targeting systems to fire with incredible precision. The crew watched in awe. Humans had always been clever, adaptable, and resilient. But Alex's abilities went beyond anything they had expected. He was not just reacting, he was anticipating, improvising, controlling forces they could barely understand. One of the alien ships broke through the outer defense perimeter, its weapons locking onto the station. Alex's hands glowed brighter as he extended the energy outward, creating a protective barrier that deflected the attack. The ship was thrown back, its engines straining as it fought to regain position. You're incredible, Lyra whispered, barely able to contain her amazement. I've never seen anyone do this. Not in simulations, not in history. Only humans. You're unpredictable, and that's your strength. Alex felt a surge of determination. I'm not done yet, he said, his voice steady. I can do more. I can keep us safe. As the battle raged, Alex realized that controlling the energy required more than instinct. He needed focus, strategy, and calm. Fear made the currents jagged and erratic, but confidence and intent smoothed them, allowing him to direct the station's systems with almost perfect precision. He guided the weapons, reinforced the shields, and even predicted the enemy's tactics, keeping the fleet at bay. The alien ships adjusted, learning from his maneuvers, but Alex was faster. Every attack was met with a counter. Every maneuver anticipated. The station's AI worked with him, following his guidance, but it was clear that Alex's intuition and connection to the energy were the real advantage. Minutes felt like hours, and the strain began to show. Sweat glistened on his forehead, and his hands trembled as the energy pressed against his limits. Lyra noticed it, and stepped closer, placing a calming hand on his shoulder. You can do this, she said softly. Trust yourself. Trust the energy. It's part of you now. He nodded, drawing a deep breath. The golden glow intensified, surrounding him like a cocoon. He reached out once more, extending his senses beyond the station, into space itself. He could feel the ship's engines, their weapon patterns, the currents of energy that powered them. Slowly, deliberately, he guided the station's countermeasures, intercepting missiles, redirecting energy, and even causing minor system disruptions in the enemy fleet. One by one, the alien ships began to retreat. Unable to adapt to the unpredictability of human ingenuity, combined with the cosmic energy Alex wielded, the fleet had underestimated him, underestimated humans, and now they were paying the price. When the last ship withdrew, the station was quiet again. The crew erupted into relieved cheers, but Alex remained seated, exhausted, his hands glowing faintly. Lyra knelt beside him, her expression a mixture of pride and awe. "You did it," she said softly. "You saved us all." Alex shook his head, trying to catch his breath. I just felt it. I didn't know what I was doing half the time." That's humans," Lyra said quietly. "Unpredictable, adaptable, resilient. You improvise when others would fail. That's why you succeeded." The captain approached, his voice calm but weighty. "This event confirms what we suspected. Humans are not merely participants in the universe. They have capabilities we cannot yet measure. Their instinct, creativity, and adaptability are forces in themselves." Alex nodded slowly, feeling the truth of the captain's words. He had always thought of himself as ordinary, just another human in an endless universe. But now he understood that there was something unique in him, in his species. The next few days were a blur of activity. The station repaired damages, monitored energy fluctuations, and prepared for potential new threats. Alex continued to train, learning to sense the energy, to guide it without fear, and to maintain control under stress. Lyra remained by his side, teaching him techniques to calm the flow, to direct it without overextending himself. "You're learning fast," she said one evening as they watched the stars from the observation deck. "Humans have always been underestimated. You adapt, improvise, and survive. But now, with this power, you're more than survival. You're potential." Alex looked at her, a mixture of awe and determination in his eyes. "I want to understand it fully. I want to control it completely. To know what it can do and what I can do with it." Lyra smiled faintly, her usual playful demeanor returning slightly. "Then you must be patient. The energy is ancient. It has its own will, and it responds not only to thought, but to emotion, intention, and instinct. You must respect it, or it could overwhelm you." Alex nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. He had already seen the danger of the energy, the attraction it held for others, and the consequences of misuse. He knew he could not treat it lightly. That night, as the station rested and the stars shimmered in the distance, Alex sat quietly, feeling the energy pulse softly within him. It was no longer frightening, it was part of him, guiding him, teaching him, challenging him. He realized that this was only the beginning. Humans had always survived against the odds, and now, with this power, they could shape events in ways the universe had not anticipated. Somewhere deep in space, the enemy fleet regrouped, their sensors still drawn to the golden pulse that had saved the station. Alex felt it too, faint and distant, but growing stronger. He knew they would return, and next time, the stakes would be higher. But for now, he allowed himself a moment of quiet pride. He had faced an impossible challenge, guided by instinct, intuition, and courage. He had proven that humans were more than anyone had expected, resilient, clever, and capable of rising to challenges no other species could meet. And in the glow of the station's lights, surrounded by the crew who now looked at him with a mixture of respect and amazement, Alex felt a spark of something greater, something ancient, something powerful, something inherently human, had awakened. The universe was vast, unpredictable, and full of dangers, but Alex knew one truth. Humans had survived against all odds before. And now, with this newfound connection to energy, they could face the cosmos with strength, ingenuity, and courage unlike any other species. The golden pulse within him throbbed gently, a reminder that this was only the start. And as he looked out at the endless expanse of stars, he realized that the universe had just begun to notice humanity, and it would not forget them again. The station had returned to an uneasy calm, but everyone knew it would not last. Alex could feel it. The golden energy pulsing inside him had grown stronger over the past days, becoming almost a part of him. He had trained, learned, and tested his limits. But now he sensed a deeper challenge approaching. The alien fleet that had retreated days before was regrouping. This time, they would not be tentative. They would come for him, drawn to the power that had saved the station. Lyra stood beside him, her glowing purple skin reflecting the dim light of the control room. Her usual playful demeanor was replaced by seriousness. "They're not just curious anymore," she said. "They want control. They want the energy you carry. And if they get it, they won't stop at this station. They'll take it wherever it exists." Alex nodded, his jaw tight. He felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on him, but he also felt something else: determination. He could not let fear dictate his actions. Humans were unpredictable, yes, but they were also resilient. He had seen it in himself, in the ways he could guide the station, sense threats, and anticipate danger. He was ready to face whatever came next. The alarm sounded before anyone else could speak. Sensors lit up, and the observation screens displayed a massive fleet moving through space with calculated precision. The ships were sleek, their weapons bristling, engines glowing ominously. The crew held their breath. "They've returned," Lyra whispered. Alex's hands glowed faintly as he reached out, feeling the currents of energy flowing from the ships into the void, toward him. The pulse was strong, almost overwhelming. But he did not retreat. Instead, he focused, drawing the energy into himself, letting it flow with him rather than against him. His eyes reflected a golden light as he extended his senses beyond the station, mapping the enemy fleet in his mind. The captain approached, his crystalline features solemn. "This will be your greatest test, human. The fleet is formidable, and their intent is deadly. Use your power wisely." Alex nodded. "I will." The battle began with sudden intensity. Alien ships fired in unison, their weapons designed to overwhelm. The station shook under the first volleys of fire. Crew members scrambled to their stations, hearts pounding, as the ship's defenses activated. But Alex did not panic. He closed his eyes, letting the golden energy surge through him, connecting him to the station as though he were a conductor of an orchestra. He felt every pulse, every spark, every current of the station's systems. He guided shields, redirected power, and even anticipated the trajectories of incoming missiles. The enemy fleet adapted, but Alex was faster. He could predict their maneuvers almost instinctively, countering their attacks before they could land. Lyra watched, amazed and tense. "Keep it steady," she urged. "Don't let it overwhelm you. Focus." Alex drew a deep breath, letting his mind become one with the energy. The glow around him intensified, spreading across his body in a halo of golden light. He reached outward, guiding the station's weapons to fire with perfect precision. Each shot found its mark, disabling engines and systems on the alien ships. Some ships were destroyed outright, while others were forced to retreat or maneuver desperately. The battle raged, fierce and unrelenting. Alex's energy connected with the station, forming a protective shield that deflected attacks and absorbed impacts. He could feel the strain building, the energy pulling at him, testing his limits. But he refused to yield. He pushed further, extending his senses into the enemy ships themselves. He could feel the intentions of their pilots, anticipate their decisions, and manipulate the energy around them to neutralize threats. The crew of the station moved in awe and fear, witnessing something beyond their understanding. Alex was not merely reacting to the attacks, he was commanding them. Using human ingenuity, instinct, and his newfound energy connection to outmaneuver a fleet designed to crush them. One of the larger ships, armed with devastating weapons, broke through the outer defenses and aimed directly at the station's core. Alex's heart raced as he felt the energy surge toward him. He could not let it strike. Focusing all his will, he extended his power outward, enveloping the ship in a golden barrier. The blast from its weapons collided with the shield, shaking the station violently. But the ship's assault was absorbed. Alex gritted his teeth, pouring every ounce of concentration into controlling the energy. He could feel it responding, bending to his will, amplifying his commands. Slowly, methodically, he redirected the ship away from the station, disabling its engines and leaving it drifting helplessly in space. Lyra's eyes widened. "You did it! You controlled it completely!" Alex shook his head, breathing heavily. "It's not over. There are more. We have to finish this." The remaining ships attacked in waves, but Alex had learned the rhythm of the energy. He anticipated each strike, guided defenses with precision, and even used the energy to disrupt the enemy systems. The alien fleet, though powerful and experienced, could not match the unpredictability of a human connected to forces they did not understand. Hours passed in a blur of movement, light, and energy. The station shuddered under repeated attacks, but each one was countered by Alex's instinctive control. Finally, the alien fleet, battered and bewildered, began to retreat. Their ships limped away, engines smoking, systems failing. They had underestimated humans and paid the price. When the last ship disappeared into the darkness of space, silence fell. The station creaked, its systems stabilizing, and the crew let out sighs of relief. Alex sank into a chair, exhausted, the golden glow fading to a soft warmth. Lyra knelt beside him, her eyes reflecting admiration and awe. "You saved us all," she said softly. Alex shook his head, exhausted but exhilarated. "I just felt it. I guided it. That's all." "No," Lyra said, smiling faintly. "You did more than that. You proved something important. Humans are capable of greatness that no one expects. Your instincts, your courage, your ability to adapt, that's what saved us. That's what makes humans extraordinary." The captain approached, his voice calm but filled with gravity. "This event confirms what we suspected. Humans are not simply another species. They are adaptable, resilient, and capable of shaping events far beyond what we imagined. Today, a human demonstrated power and wisdom that none of our fleets could match." Alex felt a surge of pride, tempered by humility. He had never sought recognition or power, but he had risen to a challenge that had threatened countless lives. He had seen firsthand the strength, creativity, and bravery that humans could offer, and he understood that this was only the beginning. In the following days, the station repaired its systems and monitored the surrounding space for any signs of returning threats. Alex continued to train, refining his connection to the energy, learning to sense subtle currents, predict movements, and maintain control even under pressure. Lyra guided him patiently, teaching him to respect the energy and understand its limits. "You've come far in a short time," she said one evening, watching him as he practiced. "But remember, the energy is ancient. It has a mind of its own. Respect it, or it could overwhelm you. Humans are strong, but even the strongest must learn restraint." Alex nodded, feeling the responsibility of his gift. "I understand. I want to use it wisely. To protect, to help, and to understand what humans can truly do." The crew of the station, once skeptical of humans, now looked at Alex with respect and admiration. They had seen a human rise above fear, guide impossible defenses, and confront a fleet that no ordinary being could challenge. Alex had not just survived, he had demonstrated the extraordinary potential of humanity. That night, as he stood on the observation deck looking out at the endless stars, Alex felt the golden energy pulse softly within him. It was calm, steady, alive. He had learned control, but he also knew there was more to discover. Humans had always survived against incredible odds, but now, with this energy, they could rise to new challenges, face the universe with ingenuity, courage, and determination, and prove that no force, no matter how ancient or powerful, could underestimate them again. Lyra approached him, her eyes reflecting the stars. "You've changed everything," she said softly. "Not just for this station, not just for us, but for the universe. Humans will never be overlooked again." Alex turned to her, a faint smile on his face. "We've only just begun," he said. "This energy, this connection, it's a part of us now. And if we continue to learn, to grow, to face the unknown, there's nothing we can't overcome." The stars outside shimmered, distant and infinite. But Alex knew humanity had found its place among them. The golden pulse within him throbbed gently, a reminder of what had been awakened, a spark, a connection, and a promise that humans would rise to meet any challenge, no matter how impossible it seemed. The station hummed quietly around him, safe for now, but the universe beyond was vast, full of dangers, wonders, and mysteries. And in the center of it all, a human stood ready, not as a pawn, not as a curiosity, but as a symbol of the enduring strength, adaptability, and brilliance of his species. The universe had underestimated humanity once, but it would not do so again. And somewhere deep within Alex, the golden energy pulsed, a reminder that the journey was only beginning, and that humans, unpredictable and extraordinary, were ready to face it.